What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim back with another video. If you guys are seeing this, then the PlayStation 5 debacle is largely over already. People who wanted a pre-order successfully got one, I hope. Many of you are waking up wondering what the hell just happened, and I'm going to do my best to break it down for you guys and to tell you guys that this is normal, unfortunately, with console launches because of the secrecy, because of the lack of information, and most importantly, because of the fever pitch levels of hype and excitement. Every console launch is like this. Now, as we've gotten more into the COVID era, as we've gotten more into a digital era, the way in which you get a console might be slightly different, but the news remains that it's usually pretty damn hard to figure out when and where to procure your very own. And I have to say that this was one of the most wild years, and I wanted to do a video on it because I wanted to walk you guys through my experiences and also to kind of vent a little bit because it was a very long night for me, as probably for many of you who are interested in getting one. So it all starts when PlayStation finishes up their press conference. If you didn't get to see War Never Changes 21 with Phil and I, there's a link in the description below. It's a good show, I think, this week. We go through all the games. We are very, very excited for this thing. But we both were very frustrated because there was no information on when or where pre-orders would be available. And while we're recording the show, we are watching one eye on the podcast and one eye on the internet, wondering when things are going to go live. And it's silence. There's nothing. There's no messages from Best Buy or any of the major US vendors. Target, Walmart, Amazon, complete silence. As where Xbox did say, hey, we're going to be launching and it's going to be available on this date, PlayStation's conference and all major manufacturers said nothing. So we're trying to figure out, does that mean it's coming out today? Is it tomorrow? Then the silence breaks when Jeff Keighley tweets, so you guys want to know about pre-orders. And everybody loses their mind. Probably one of the most viewed tweets in the history of Twitter, if I had to guess. One of the most regarded as what is going on. What does Jeff know that nobody else knows? And how does Jeff know? Yes, he is definitely an influencer. He definitely has a lot of interconnections with both companies. How does he know anything? And why is he this chosen one? Why is this not coming from an official PlayStation account? I'm sure there's a lot of people who are fans of PlayStation who may not know who Jeff Keighley is. The whole thing's weird. It raises more questions than answers, and unfortunately, we never get those answers. What we do get is confirmation from Jeff at that time there will be no pre-orders today. So everybody takes a collective sigh. Okay, we have one night to think about it, to clear our cache, to clear our cookies, to get our browsers up to date, get everything ready to rock and roll. We're all good. Then about 20 minutes later, he tweets, but some vendors might go live tonight. And the fever pitch blows back up, and all the browsers are open. Over here in Mission Control, I'm sitting at one computer. My wife is sitting behind me at another computer. We got 100 tabs open across our thing. I got every major vendor from what I believe to be their official store pages. I got my credit cards ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do this. And the night begins. I believe Walmart went first. I want to say it was sometime around 6 or 6:30. Walmart, out of the blue, decides that they're going to list them. I found out about it via Twitter, although I suspect if you were spamming their product page, which was going in and out of actually showing an individual SKU, not just that boilerplate page that says, hey, PlayStation's coming, but an actual product page, you might have been able to find it a little faster than I did, but it's frantic. Everybody comes, like refreshing, trying to get it, whatever. And that's when I was successfully able to procure one. Now, the site was running like garbage. It was totally running like garbage. It was timing out. It was not loading properly. It wasn't letting you change like your credit card information. If you didn't have all your stuff stored, you were toast, no doubt about it. If you're like, oh, I'll just pull out my credit card and go ahead and put it in now. No, that's not how this works. This is like you have 5 seconds to get through and you're done. And keep in mind, these stores do not do like the Ticketmaster system, where they don't put you in some sort of instance where your product is like reserved for you. This is a giant like hodgepodge. So if you're sitting there and you added it to your cart and you're still filling out your name and your phone number and all that stuff, if there's only one left and I blow in at the last second and just hit buy now and I'm done, and you're still filling out your information, too bad, so sad. And this is a very common thing, I think, a misconception a lot of people think, is you got to have all this crap ready to go. Thankfully, like I said, this isn't my first rodeo. I'm a 38-year-old man. This isn't the first time I've done this. It's frustrating I have to do this, but this is not the first time I've done this. So we get through, we're good, we think everything's fine, then we're done. Then I start seeing emails of people saying that Walmart is canceling orders. They've oversold. So frantic, everybody's on their bank account. Did my card get charged? Does it show a pending transaction? Does it show a pending credit? And everybody's nervous. And that is how the night goes for every single vendor. Best Buy site came up 3 separate times last night. 3 times. Did it come up? The product was available to order. You click buy now. Then nothing happens. It just internalizes and spits out, gives you random error messages. You can finagle, as I've done in the past, with the URL, trying to go to different pages within Best Buy. And that doesn't work. Nothing works. The site's down. Yet it still shows available. Then it shows sold out. Then it says coming soon. Then it says pre-order. Target had a very similar issue as well. The only one, honestly, that was the smooth one to get through was Amazon. Amazon was the last to go, even though Best Buy went again after Amazon at like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning here on the East Coast. Amazon was actually the easiest one to do. And it was very simple to sign in, click buy now, and be done. And it blows my mind that there is such a spread between companies. Walmart, one of the largest manufacturers in the world. Best Buy, who honestly, if I was the CEO of Best Buy and I had any money left, and I don't know how Best Buy's doing after COVID in particular, I think they're in big trouble. But if I was Best Buy, I would invest all of my money in infrastructure at this point to make sure that I could please people, because I will tell you what, Best Buy's website was a dumpster fire last night, and Twitter blew that site up. Twitter was so nasty. Reddit was so nasty. The official Facebook groups were so nasty, all towards Best Buy. And when Amazon went live, everybody ran over there and got one. Now, does this mean Best Buy is completely out of, not going to sell their stock? Of course. They're going to sell out just like everybody else is going to. But it's this kind of stuff that, you wonder when you see things like, oh, the Microsoft store is closing. Oh, GameStop is in trouble. This is the kind of thing why. As a matter of fact, with GameStop site was actually blocking people because they were trying to spam it too fast. And their site had major issues. A lot of people were posting pictures online of them going to their local brick and mortar store and holding a receipt saying, look, I pre-ordered one, I got one. I don't trust that. I don't trust GameStop. I think that they're a bad company. And I think that a lot of people have a false sense of security, which is really why, honestly, in this weird era with canceling and stuff, you really almost need to get a few as like a primary and like some sort of backup from 2 different places just in case something goes wrong. Because it seems to me that these stores just still have not yet figured out how to live up to this fever pitch. And really this year in particular, more than any other year, with COVID in general, with us all being in lockdown, with us all going stir crazy, with this long burn of what was going to happen for PlayStation and what was going to happen for Xbox, and them finally releasing the price and the date. You had all this time and all this build up to get it right. And as usual, everything is thrown together at the 11th hour. Sites are crashing. Everything's going down. Except for Amazon. Amazon never had an issue. If there are zillions of people going online at any time to hit Google and to hit YouTube, which I guess is a subsidiary of Google if you want to think of it that way, these sites that are constantly getting traffic, major news sites getting constant traffic, the surge of people trying to get a console, yes, it's going to be big, but it's definitely manageable from the company side. Maybe they just don't care because they say, you know what? We don't really necessarily need to spend a lot of time and money on infrastructure because you're just going to sit there anyway and get through. But unfortunately, they're not the only show in town now. And that's where I feel like some of these companies are going to get hurt. So I bought all of the things I wanted for the console, including the games from Walmart, because they were the first to go. I got all my stuff. I was very happy. By the time Target, Best Buy, Amazon, and then Best Buy again came through, I had already picked out my games and my accessories. I was done. So in that case, I think Walmart got my money over anybody else because they were first and they did it right. And I guess maybe that's part of capitalism, but it is incredibly frustrating. So if you're like me and you had a crazy night, I want to hear about it in the comments below. Let me know kind of what went right and wrong for you. If this was your first rodeo, welcome. If you're waking up to this and you haven't gotten one yet, I'm sorry. Keep trying. They will probably restock some of these. Some people will cancel when it gets closer to launch, but this is going to be a hot item. I'm curious to see how the Xbox One does, and if it is exciting, I will report back. If it's not, I won't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.